All right, so we have all of the data points that we'd ever want, and we have a little bit of focus here. But now we need to figure out what to do with those things, how to identify where we need to be focusing our efforts, right? So this can be broken down into kind of the main 4 growth levers. You have acquisition, activation, monetization, and retention, right? So let's break these down a little bit. Acquisition. These are ideas focused around driving awareness and generating more leads, right? So this is kind of how you're optimizing at the first couple stages of the value journey. Activation. These ideas focus on turning leads into customers or further qualifying those leads. So this will be living in conversion, excitement, and in sometimes ascension. Now we get to the big daddy, monetization. These ideas focus on turning single purchase buyers into repeat customers. So this is living in excite and ascend, and can expand revenue from current customers. And then you have retention. These ideas focus all on keeping customers, buyers, and reducing churn. So this can all break down to the different value journey steps that we have. It can also be mapped to funnels. And so here's an example of like a standard acquisition funnel that we had here at Digital Marketer, where we were looking at goal 1 being the actual leads generated, goal 2 being the upsell taken, goal 3 being the activation upsell being taken, right? And so what I'm looking for here, knowing that this is going to be a acquisition play, I want to be working on how I can increase the number of customers acquired through here. So I look for the holes. So green's looking good, yellow, we're looking okay, that's at standard, and then red being at the below standard portion there. So this is where you identify holes in your funnels. And you'll be seeing them from here's kind of more on the acquisition side, where here's more on the conversion side. We're bleeding here on the conversion side, right? While you're identifying holes, there's lots of technologies that will do this for you in like fancy dashboards, those types of things. There's a real quick visualization trick you can do in Google Analytics where you just kind of go in at each step. So you can look at the unique page views for a funnel and you can kind of visualize it yourself. It would look something like this. And what you'll start seeing are the drop-off points. That's where you're really going to identify holes. So if you're bad with numbers, like I showed you in that spreadsheet, and you don't like colors maybe, I don't know, you can start seeing very visually where the biggest drop-offs are. And so we see some serious issues here between 75%, 60%, and 52%. Then you need to contextualize those bits of data there, right? We found some leaky holes, but where do we start, right? You'd expect to see a pretty big drop-off between, if you're an e-commerce site, between your homepage and your category pages, right? What you don't want to be seeing is a massive drop-off between your cart and people buying, right? So you're looking at customers. You're also seeing a pretty big drop-off between product to cart. So if someone's on a product page and then they're not actually adding to cart and trying to check out, right? So really, if you see a drop-off from product page to cart, now, like what now? What do you do? The numbers aren't going to tell you that. So everything I just showed you is like, hey, here's how you identify kind of the holes in your funnels and at the different stages. And I gave an example of maybe on the acquisition side. But if there's a massive drop-off from your product page to cart, that's telling you, okay, something is wrong likely in messaging or something is wrong here in maybe functionally, but there's something wrong between these two steps. And that's where you're going to have to use a different type of data set, which is your qualitative data. So qualitative data is the why, whereas everything we've talked about is the what, right? So after you find those opportunity areas, you're going to want to use qualitative data to provide the insights around how to improve them. Sure, you know, oh, cool, my product page to cart page has a 60% drop-off rate, and I think it might be this, but remember, you're not your own customer. You're not actually, you're the closest to your company or your website than anyone in the world. You're going to have your suppositions, but you're not your own user. So use analytics and data to identify where you need to improve, and then dig into qualitative data to find out how you improve it.